sightings before bridge disaster. It was November 12, 1966, in Clendenin, West Virginia. 5 men digging a grave at a local cemetery claimed to have seen something that would haunt their nightmares for years to come. A winged creature, vaguely human-shaped, flew low over their heads, then ascended and disappeared into the trees. These were not men prone to flights of fancy. They were gravediggers, familiar with death and the mundane realities of life. But what they saw that day defied explanation, a harbinger of events that would soon grip the entire region in a vortex of fear and uncertainty. The whispers began, spreading like wildfire through the small towns and winding roads of the Ohio River Valley. The epicenter of the strange happenings was Point Pleasant, a town nestled at the confluence of the Ohio and Kanawha rivers. It was a place where secrets lingered in the fog that often blanketed the water, a place where the old Appalachian superstitions still held sway. Soon after the gravediggers' encounter, reports began flooding in. People described a large, winged creature with glowing red eyes, often seen lurking near the old TNT plant, a relic of World War II. The plant, known locally as the TNT area, was a sprawling complex of abandoned bunkers and overgrown fields, a perfect hiding place for something unearthly. The air itself seemed thick with dread. The descriptions of the creature were remarkably consistent. Tall, grayish-brown, with a wingspan that stretched impossibly wide. But the most disturbing feature was its eyes, 2 hypnotic orbs of red light that seemed to pierce through the soul. One young couple, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and their friends, were driving near the TNT area when they saw it standing in the road. Terrified, they sped away, the creature pursuing them at speeds that defied logic. They reported the sighting to Deputy Sheriff Millard Halstead, who, though skeptical, took their account seriously. He knew these were not troublemakers, but genuinely frightened young people. This marked the beginning of an official, albeit bewildered, investigation. Sheriff Halstead's investigation quickly hit a wall. There were no logical explanations for the sightings. He consulted with local ornithologists, but they dismissed the idea of any known bird species matching the description. Some suggested it might be a sandhill crane, a large migratory bird, but the red eyes and other details didn't fit. As the reports continued to pour in, Halstead found himself caught between his duty to protect the public and his own growing unease. He started carrying a sidearm, a small comfort against something he couldn't understand. The town buzzed with rumors, fear mixing with morbid curiosity. The media, of course, descended upon Point Pleasant like vultures. The local newspaper, the Asterisk Point Pleasant Register Asterisk, ran headline after headline, fueling the frenzy. Reporter Mary Heyer, daughter of the paper's owner, became deeply involved in the story, meticulously documenting the sightings and interviewing witnesses. She even gave the creature its now famous name, Mothman. Heyer's reporting brought national attention to Point Pleasant, attracting paranormal investigators and curious onlookers from across the country. The town, once a quiet river community, was now a stage for a bizarre and terrifying spectacle. Among those drawn to Point Pleasant was John Keel, a paranormal investigator and author. Keel arrived with a mission to unravel the mystery of Mothman. He delved into the town's history, uncovering tales of Native American curses and strange energy vortexes. interviewed witnesses, collected reports, and began to formulate his own theories. Theories that went far beyond simple explanations of misidentified birds. Keel's investigation took a decidedly stranger turn, involving UFO sightings, men in black, and psychic phenomena. He began to believe that Mothman was just one piece of a larger, more sinister puzzle. As Keel dug deeper, he became convinced that the Mothman sightings were not isolated incidents, but rather warnings of impending disaster. He felt a growing sense of dread, a premonition of something terrible about to happen. He tried to warn the townspeople, but his warnings were often dismissed as the ramblings of a crackpot. Yet, Keel's persistence planted a seed of fear in the minds of some, a nagging feeling that something was terribly wrong. He started to believe that the TNT area was some sort of gateway, a portal through which these strange entities were entering our world. Meanwhile, the Mothman sightings continued, becoming more frequent and more ominous. People reported feeling watched, experiencing strange dreams, and hearing disembodied voices. Some claimed to have seen other strange creatures, adding to the growing sense of paranoia. The TNT area became a place of dread, avoided by all but the most foolhardy. The townspeople lived in a state of constant anxiety, wondering when and where the Mothman would appear next. The atmosphere was thick with fear, a palpable sense of impending doom. Then, on December 15, 1967, the unthinkable happened. The Silver Bridge, a vital link between Point Pleasant and Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed into the Ohio River during rush hour. 46 people plunged to their deaths in the icy water. The disaster shocked the nation and devastated Point Pleasant. The bridge collapse became inextricably linked to the Mothman sightings. Many believed that the creature was a harbinger of the tragedy, a dark omen that had foretold the disaster. Keel, devastated by the event, felt that his premonitions had come true in the most horrific way possible. In the aftermath of the Silver Bridge collapse, the Mothman sightings abruptly ceased. Some saw this as proof that the creature was indeed connected to the disaster, its mission complete. Others believed that the creature had simply moved on, seeking out new places to haunt. But the memory of the Mothman and the tragedy of the Silver Bridge remained etched in the collective memory of Point Pleasant. The town became known as the home of the Mothman, a place forever associated with the unexplained and the tragic. A legend was born, fueled by fear, grief, and unanswered questions. Years later, investigations into the Silver Bridge collapse revealed structural flaws in the bridge's design, likely exacerbated by corrosion and heavy traffic. The disaster was attributed to engineering failures, not supernatural forces. But for many in Point Pleasant, this explanation was not enough. The memory of the Mothman and the eerie events that preceded the collapse remained, a haunting reminder that some things defy easy explanation. The logical explanation did little to quell the ingrained belief in a supernatural cause. Despite the official explanation, the Mothman legend continued to grow. Books were written, movies were made, and Point Pleasant became a mecca for paranormal enthusiasts. An annual Mothman festival was established, attracting thousands of visitors each year. The town embraced its reputation as the home of the Mothman, turning a tragedy into a tourist attraction. Mothman became a symbol of Point Pleasant, a bizarre and enduring reminder of the town's brush with the unexplained. But the legend took on a new, stranger life. Some researchers argued that the Mothman wasn't a harbinger of disaster, but a protector, warning people of the impending bridge collapse. They pointed to the fact that some people who heeded the warnings of the Mothman avoided the bridge on the day of the disaster, possibly saving their lives. This interpretation offered a more benevolent view of the creature, a guardian angel rather than a demon. This twist on the Mothman's image created additional layers of mystery. John Keel, in his later years, expressed doubts about his earlier theories. He admitted that he may have been too quick to embrace the paranormal explanations, and that some of the witnesses may have been unreliable, even suggested that the Mothman sightings could have been misidentified owls or other large birds. But despite his changing views, Keel never fully dismissed the possibility that something truly strange had occurred in Point Pleasant. He acknowledged that the mystery of the Mothman continued to haunt him. The Mothman legend serves as a powerful reminder of the human tendency to seek explanations for the inexplicable, especially in the face of tragedy. It speaks to our deep-seated fears of the unknown and our fascination with the paranormal. The story of Point Pleasant is a story of fear, grief, and the enduring power of myth. It's a story that continues to be told and retold, each time adding new layers of intrigue and speculation. The irony is that a town seeking answers may have created its own enduring monster. The true nature of the Mothman may never be known. Was it a misidentified bird, a figment of collective hysteria, or something truly otherworldly? The answer remains elusive, lost in the mists of time and the collective memory of Point Pleasant. But one thing is certain: the legend of the Mothman will continue to fascinate and terrify for generations to come. A chilling reminder that sometimes the most terrifying mysteries are those that cannot be solved, and that disaster can arrive on silent wings.